am too busy building the fortune and empire of another person so they can succeed, just so I can survive. Bruh, I feel like I'm having like an existential crisis episode. I feel like I'm glitching right now. I'm trying to find the energy to even make this video. I am always so aware of my own existence, like my brain never shuts the fuck off. I just called out of work for the next 2 days, or the last 2 days I had to work this week, and I didn't really have the time to do so, but I did it anyways. Yeah, I am tired. Yeah, before you think I'm lazy or entitled, I've worked this job before. I've worked in multiple warehouses. I used to be able to do it, but something, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's after 2020. I don't know if it's my mental state, but I just cannot do it. I can't do it. And a lot of people have been telling me, oh, just get a cute little retail job. Just do this, just do customer service. I don't know what happened, but I don't want to interact with people. Like, I know that sounds very, but like, I'm just so selective of where I put myself and what situations and environments and around what company. I've been so keen on protecting my peace that I don't even want to deal with like irate customers. They're not even worth, you know, the good ones that are coming through too. Like, I just don't want to deal with any type of customer service. I don't have the energy for it. I don't want to talk to nobody. Like, that's why I work warehouse. I go in, I do the physical labor, do my job, I go home, but I have not been able to make it through the day. So that said, I decided to stay home and not get paid for my 10 hours and make a YouTube rant instead for the sake of my mental health, because I'm so tired. Also, for anyone who knows what it's like to have depression and have to work through your depression, people see it as like laziness. Oh, you just don't want to work. No, my brain is causing so many intrusive ass thoughts at work. It is not only just affecting my ability to work, but it is stopping me in my track. It's causing me to make mistakes. It's causing extreme mental fatigue, overall emotional dissatisfaction. Like, I could get into so many aspects of depression at work, and how much harder it is than the regular person who just, you know, oh, I hate my job. No, I hate my job, and half the time I'm convincing myself not to every week, but I have to do this to survive. I don't want to survive, but I also don't want to die, but I also need money to survive. But surviving is so expensive, but dying is also expensive. It's all a scam. It's like I'm so optimistic and hopeful for the future, but I'm also very stressed out and I don't know what to do. So my depression says that we're gonna go back to bed, even though we've been in bed all day. And my depression also says that we're gonna figure out our finances later, no matter how hard it gets. Even though we were stressed about our finances, now we're stressed about the means we have to go through to fix our finances. I think most of us can agree that the system is built on the backs of small people. All these corporate entities, all these giant places, they started off small. These massive companies are huge conglomerate forces now, but do you realize they all started off so tiny? Probably with just a little shop, an idea, one person, a small little team, one little, you know, the beginning, the birth of whatever they were meant to become. And now they are so big that they are offering jobs to the small. And while they are helping us, yes, because they're paying us, I feel like the bigger companies get, the greedier they get. And while they're still helping out the people, and oh, here's your benefits, here's your paycheck, for the everyday person, it's just not enough. And I'm not talking about shopping addictions and trips and all this stuff. I just mean like to survive. People say that you need more than one income, and while that's true, it just doesn't sit well with me because why? Why do you have to have your time and effort in multiple places just to meet your needs and survive? Why do you have to have multiple streams of income just to survive in this world? I'm getting frustrated because I see a very big and bright future for myself, but I am too busy building the fortune and empire of another person so they can succeed just so I can survive. A lot of people might argue that, these big companies are giving you a piece of their pie, but in reality, I feel like they're just giving me a disposable fork. And they're like, if you work hard, you too can also live and eat well and live a big life like us. And then they throw a few crumbs your way and you're like, oh my God, yay, this week's paycheck. Oh no, why am I still starving? Because baby, you're not full. You're not full. And then on top of that, they gave you something you didn't even want to eat. You want to work for yourself, but you're over here working for somebody else and you're just taking what they give you, which is money. Money is the cheat code. But that said, it's frustrating because it's like the mental stress as well as physical stress, depending on what job you're working, and just spiritual damage you have to endure for doing something you do not want to do. In your heart, in your deepest desires, that you could be putting your talents and efforts somewhere else. If you just had the resources to survive, do you know how many people would have achieved their dreams already if they didn't have to worry about bills and finances? If they had an opportunity to take up a life where it was like, hey, you'll always be fed, you always have a roof over your head, you might not be able to do super lavish stuff, but you have your needs met. Will you take this life in order to go chase your dreams? We're going to give you this amount of time to figure yourself out. Don't worry about surviving. Go do what you need to do. I feel like if people had that opportunity, so many people would be successful right now. But we are choosing survival over our own success because it is so hard to try to combine the two. Like, there's just not enough hours in the day. And even if you are making great progress with your own success while surviving somewhere you don't want to be, first off, congratulations, that's amazing. Please put some tips down below. But that said, I feel like we're never able to reach our full threshold of what we could have achieved in a day because a portion of our time will always be going to somebody else and their success so we can survive. My point is, I would really love to be my own boss already, but I'm broke. And a lot of people tell you not to quit your day job and chase your dreams because that might be a disaster, and other people said they did it and it worked out perfectly for them. It really is situational. It's based off circumstances, it's based on how much drive you have, and even then you can't control the outcome. If you up and quit your job tomorrow and you pursue your passion, yeah, it could turn out glorious, but it might also take time. That's the problem. I can't tell you how many ventures I've had where, oh, I want to be an author. Oh, I want to be a YouTuber. Oh, I have an OF, which I'm not even going to get into how weird it is going back into the workforce after joining the consensual industry, because now I'm like, oh, you can see my body on the mirror. But I'm at work, so please don't bring that up. Like, I'm not gonna get into that, but it's the fact that there have been so many ventures I have tried to put my all into, and at the end of the day, I still have to boomerang back to the regular 9 to 5 or overnight shift, because I work night shifts, just to survive. Because what my little ventures are doing, it's cute, the small business thing, but is it paying the bills? I want to be my own boss already. I want to wake up and live the life I want to live. It doesn't have to be luxurious. It does not have to be lavish. I just want to wake up and enjoy my days. I'm not enjoying my days the way I would like to. Some days, yeah, some days are great, but I would like to have more of those days. Yeah, and sometimes I get very overwhelmed by the sheer amount of people in this world and the knowledge that the majority of us are trying to survive. Aside from the small portion who's already settled and they're rich and they're good to go, they're like perfectly fine. But it's like everyone is either working because they're in survival mode and despising their job, or they're pursuing their own dreams, or they're trying to sell the idea of dreams. They're charging for anything and everything they can, whatever it is. A lot of information is free on the internet, but you know, whatever they can monetize, whatever they can make a profit off of, which I don't blame them. When you find something that works or you think it might work, you charge for it, because at the end of the day, you can't make your ideas into reality for free. You cannot, you know, nobody has the resources and whatever they need to do such a thing. It's so scary because it's like you have this world with all these millions of people that either need to survive or sell something, an idea, their body, a product, whatever it might be, in order to survive. But you also have the masses of people who are struggling, and they can't even support the other people who are struggling because everyone's struggling. And as much as you want to support the small business, as much as you want to do this, you know, a lot of people end up looking for things for free information on the internet, free products, whatever they can, or cheap products. That's why they go to the local Walmart or whatever, and they're not shopping online and being able to support these small businesses, because at the end of the day, whatever we can get for cheap or free on a budget, whatever it is, to maximize the prosperity of our life and minimize the challenges we already have day to day, which is usually financial for a lot of people, that is what we're doing. So you have all these people trying to boost themselves and sell whatever they need to sell, their dreams, their idea, whatever it might be, to really survive and become bigger and build their brand and whatever they have to do, while people are also just trying to like live their life and get by day to day. When is the last time you went to a small mom and pop grocery store instead of Walmart? When's the last time you went online and ordered something unique and handmade versus just going to your favorite site and putting in a big ass discount code and ordering whatever you needed to order? And I'm not coming for anybody who lives like this, because I live like this. That's why I do try to do virtual support and whatever I can, shout outs, mentioning people, you know, supporting the smaller guy, because a lot of times I can't do it financially. So a like, a share, a subscribe, comment, whatever it could be, I try to go that route, because a lot of the times it's like, listen, I'm sorry, I'm trying to survive myself. I'm not able to purchase whatever it is from you because it's just cheap over here, and I gotta do whatever I gotta do to get what I gotta get. But it's just really difficult. It's this weird vicious cycle I'm seeing, and it makes sense, because it's like, if you are a successful small business, what do? You grow, you get bigger. That is the goal. That's what a lot of people want, and that's what I want for a lot of people and myself as well. If you have a business and it blows the up, you expand, you create your empire, you take on more team members, you expand your product and inventory, you get big. And that's exactly what these major companies that are already existing have done. They just succeeded already, and they're so big that, you know, we find ourselves supporting them on like a day-to-day basis. Go to Walmart, get your food, order off of Amazon and buy your favorite things, whatever it is. And people are like, well, why would I support you if I can go support, you know, somebody who's more cost effective over here for the lifestyle I'm already struggling in? And I feel like that's where it gets very hard, because of these massive companies that made it so big that we really stop looking at the little guys or the people who are, you know, climbing to get to that point, but they're not close yet, but they're doing a great motherfucking job. I'm proud of y'all. We're not gonna really get anywhere as a society until we start supporting small businesses and supporting each other. But I really do think, because of the difficulties in the lives of many people, that we're not able to financially support each other. And that's where a key fundamental aspect comes in for any business. You could like, share, subscribe, comment all damn day, but if it's not reaching the people who have some type of funds to either put towards its support, buy a product, whatever it is, at the end of the day, it's just a well-known business that's not gaining any income. Whether it's the business of, like I said, selling a product, an idea, a dream, yourself, an app, whatever it is you're working on, most things need money to go from a manifestation to a tangible thing. But because not everybody has the funds to offer to each other, to support each other, the next best thing is that virtual support, that fame aspect, that, oh, everybody found out about this, because something circulating virtually and going viral increases the odds that it can reach people with money. Because think about it, they help each other out with money being more important in my opinion. But say you have a business and you had all the money you needed to get the business up and running. You can make great products, you can advertise, etc. And as a result, it's probably gonna get well known because now people are discovering it and now they're supporting it. Vice versa, but it's a little bit harder. Say you have, no funds, but your product went viral and now everybody found out about it and now they're, whoever's able to support financially is supporting financially. So I do feel like the two go hand in hand. Of course, a good idea, a good product, but if you already have the good idea down, you already know what you want to do, you already have a game plan, it really just is the exposure and the finances, getting those down so your idea can circulate, because everybody knows what a Walmart is, right? Everybody knows about Amazon and all these big companies. Somebody needs something, they know where to go, whether it's the physical store up the street that they know or the online virtual site that they know. But how many people are like, oh, there's this one small business owner and they sell this great these bath products, and I'm gonna go online and make sure I place my order and get that and oh, I need this too, so I'm gonna go to this different person and get this over here. No, a lot of people just get all the stuff they need in one spot, virtually or physically, whatever it is, and then they just have big packages coming to their door of everything they need. So I also feel like that's another root of why we're not successfully supporting each other, because we're like, well, if I could just get everything in one place with discount codes and super fast shipping, and I can get what I want and I can get it now at a decent price that is cost effective to my life, I'm gonna support the small business when I can. And that's just hard. That's just hard, because if everybody's trying to start the small business or the idea or whatever it might be, and they have to yell about it and they're still not getting the support they need or exposure or the funds they need, I feel like a lot of people get discouraged. And you have to keep going. Please keep going. Whatever small business you have, whatever you got going on for yourself, that you are your own boss, please do not ever give that up. Do not ever give that up. You just have to reach the people who are able to financially support or virtually support or just support in any way whatsoever until you get bigger. But unfortunately, your competition really is the big bosses, the big giant name brand stores, the popular online virtual sites everybody goes to, the discount codes that you can't compete with because you still need to make a profit off your handmade stuff. Whatever it is you're selling, you still need to make some type of profit. The massive advertising and promotion that these big companies can do, and the cheap prices, incentives, bonus deals, accessibility, just how easy these big companies make it to get what you need to. It's really hard. It's really hard to be your own boss. But it doesn't mean you stop. I'm just saying it's hard. I see the reason why people charge for everything, information, product, whatever it is they can, because they need to make a living, and a lot of people want to be famous instead of like a firefighter or some shit, because that exposure can get you to the other resources you need to be successful. But if you don't have it, then you're just a small business or a small person, or you're somebody who has a small idea and you're not able to grow because you do not have the supports of the environment around you. It's just a lot to think about, and I'm not trying to stress anybody out, but a lot of the times it's so hard to succeed as someone small, so we end up latching onto a bigger company so we can make our paycheck that we need to survive. But at the end of the day, you're not seeing the success of that company. You're only going to be supporting them. I hate when you work somewhere and they're like, you're part of this big vision and you make this happen. Yeah, I know, but at the end of the day, your win is not really my win, because you either have to overexhaust yourself to also make your dreams come true while working to support somebody else's at a big company so you can get your paycheck, or take the risk of breaking away, failing miserably, succeeding gloriously. You just never know what's gonna happen, dealing with the consequences of all that. And like I said, it really is the support you have around you. If you plant a flower under some concrete, it's not gonna grow. Now, of course, that visual of the flower breaking through the concrete is always very inspiring, because that's what we're aiming for. That's the goal. But that said, if you also planted a flower in some like lush ass, like thriving soil, and you had the sun beaming on it and just the perfect amount of everything that flower needed to grow and thrive, and fertilizer and delicious hydrating water, do you know how well that plant's gonna thrive in those conditions versus the one that got planted in the concrete, in the cement, in the cracks of the sidewalk? Do you know how much that sidewalk flower has gone through and how exhausted they are just to pop out? Just to pop out and show that they're strong and they're still standing. A lot of us are that sidewalk flower. And the people who are planted in the lush fields and they're getting all the water and nutrients they needed, those are usually people who they were born into wealth and they have nothing to worry about. They were born into success or some type of position of influence, or it's the people who worked very, very hard. And I have nothing against any of the people I'm naming. I do feel some type of way for people who are born into wealth and they have a whole ass, stank ass attitude, entitlement, whatever it is in life. Because it's like, do you know how hard the rest of us are out here working? But that said, the ones who are actually humble and they're wise about how they go using their money and influence and stuff like that, I have high respect for them. But that said, there are also people that work really, really hard and they finally get to the point where they can relax and let their growth speak for themselves while still continuing to grow. But I do feel like some people, unfortunately, just get very, very greedy, and now that they're growing, they're just not gonna really help out anybody else around them grow either. It just depends, you know, every situation in person is different. I'm not shaming or shitting on nobody. I see a lot of different situations and circumstances. And like I said, I know a lot of us are just growing through the concrete right now, and it hurts and it's hard and we're exhausted. I'm also really tired of people like wanting to like stunt and act and pretend that everything's okay and be flashy when their life's really not as such. People who glamorize this lifestyle when we are already fed so many images of successful celebrities who have dumb amounts of money, like people who are just getting money for being pretty, doing nothing, whatever it is. Or maybe they are actually talented, because a lot of them are, and they actually deserve that wealth, because like I said, there is a good portion of people like that too. But regardless whether they are famous for no reason or they're famous for something well deserved, we are fed these images of just how famous they are, how lush and lavish their life is, and how just carefree and stress-free they are. Just seeing somebody live their best life and being so happy, so excited for them, but also being very well aware that yours is not as such. It's hard because you're going to be supportive regardless. You're going to love on that person regardless. I always love seeing people live their best life. I'm never petty about it or envious about it, but it is hard when you are aware of your own situation and you just wish that you could meet up to that level. People are like hard work, consistency, determination, perseverance, and, you know, long nights. I'm tired. I know the formula. I know the recipe. Just tired of trying to cook things up and see a result, because I feel like this has been going on for a minute. And it's just like people who are trying to aspire to be that, the fake flashiness. I'm not saying don't go treat yourself, but like there are people who do things really for their own self-care. Oh, I went to go get my nails and hair done. And there's other people that just do things to stunt. They just post pictures and act like they're about this life, and that's really not their situation. And it's like the fake flashiness be blowing me too, because I understand the world has this weird financial voyeurism of seeing people live their best life, and they're like, yes, I want that. I feel like it's maybe inspiring in a way, but then people will still be envious and not support, but they're also in awe of the lifestyle. I don't know. It's a super weird type of vibe with some people. I'm not sure what it is. That said, some people are out here talking about like, you know, designer bags, and I'm just thinking about breakfast, eating a good breakfast and having a good day and a good mental state. Like, I don't feel like we're the same. If you can do it, by all means do it. If you have it, enjoy it. Shit, if I had it, I'd be enjoying it. Please make sure you give back to the community a little bit. It doesn't hurt. Like a lot of people say, you leave this life for nothing, so you know you don't have to be excessively rich without helping out a single soul. That's ouch. I'm just saying, you know, make sure you're still looking out for the community or people who really, really need it. I feel like you could always virtually support though, because if you're not able to financially support small businesses or small individuals who are trying to make their dreams come true, you can at least spread the word and share the idea. That way it might reach somebody who's able to financially support or support in other ways too. But that said, I'm not invalidating virtual support. That is the biggest thing. That's the least we could do for each other, and that's why I'm so grateful for anybody who watches me, likes, shares, comments, supports, any of that. Like, you don't understand. I'm very, very grateful, because trust me, I know the situation. I know if I was selling something, a lot of people probably wouldn't support because they're just trying to survive. That doesn't mean I stop selling it, and that doesn't mean I get mad at my supporters. That just means I find another way to build my business, and I try to get it to reach people who are able to support financially. But that said, I still have that mad love for the people who are supporting in other ways too, as I do with the YouTube channel and other things I do. So for real, anybody who's willing to look out for you with a like, a share, a purchase, whatever it might be, the fact that they took the time out their day and they did not have to do that at all to support you is phenomenal in itself. So, you know, just be grateful. Overall, sorry if my energy's a little low. Like I said, I did just cut out 2 days of work for the sake of my mental health. Depressive episodes are getting pretty bad in the warehouse at night, so here I am. Just here. But yeah, that's all. I didn't mean to be cynical in any way whatsoever. If you have a small business, an idea, whatever it is, or whatever you're selling, that does not mean you stop. It means you keep striving. You keep doing what you need to do. You expand, you expedite, whatever you gotta do, you know, find a way to make it work. I'm gonna go take a nap. I don't feel the best, but I'm gonna feel better. This is gonna pass. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Like, you don't understand. I really appreciate you. So thank you for watching. Like this video if you like this video. Feel free to share, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
But nah, for real, if shopping luxury gets glorified even for people who can't afford it, who's shopping small?